wrote the directive and said he didn't want it. And yet, the medical community and your family, to make themselves feel better, were doing procedures to you that were giving you medicine that gave incredible side effects. So that your last few days weren't spent comfortably, that you could say your goodbyes to your family and your friends, that you were dealing with medical procedures that you specifically outlined when you're in good health. You never wanted this. That to me is another kind of thing. That to me is just unconscious. You know, our technology has come along and has helped us save enormous amount of lives and made people comfortable. I don't think the designers ever thought it was supposed to design to make people uncomfortable, to make people do things that they didn't want to do. Other nations have an end-of-life care that should be celebrated. I've had friends go to Netherlands where their grandmother is dying, and the family comes from all over the world, and they're with her point of death because they can be, because she's in control. And it's peaceful, and it's loving, and it's nobody's interfering with procedures that people didn't want, that only cause pain and confusion. And so that when we say goodbye to you, we have some control over that process, and some control over the relationships and the conversations that we will have with those we care about. And we're not down in some examination in the x-ray room, or we're not tied up to machines that limit our ability to communicate, or we're not taking drugs that clog our minds so we can't say to our grandchild what we want to say. We want to be in control of those moments. This is not a radical thought. It's been around since the beginning of time. Other cultures, when they know, through hunters and gatherers on up, and they know that their time is up, separate from the tribe, so that they, as the tribe goes on, that they're in charge of that. They decide when the moment is. They say their goodbyes with dignity. They're not left in a room by themselves, hooked up to machines. I don't know if any of you have been in the hospital lately, but I had to have a procedure last year, and you listen to buzzers going, beepers going off, endlessly. People beep them, and if the nurses don't get us. So it's not even a restaurant for people to go when you're in hospital. People care for you much better at home. When my father-in-law died, he died at home with his family around him, had nursing care come in when they needed to do procedures that were really uncomfortable. But it really made me feel good that 4 generations of family members to be with him, to hold him, to tell him that they love him as he left. We take that away from them. We not only take that woman away from them, but we take away their dignity and their freedom to decide what moment they want. So I give my strongest advocacy to House Bill 188. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you so much. We joined by Representative Carolyn Beckenbach, welcome. I'd like to call Jeff Catalano. Welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Members of the committee. My name is Jeff Catalano. I'm here on behalf of the Massachusetts County Trial Attorneys. You have a lot of sensitive and important matters on your plate, so I will be very brief. Importantly, we are not addressing any of the, or opposing rather, any of the bills proposed by the Medical Society with regard to liability in emergency situations. I think that it would be imprudent to oppose those. I'm here to talk about the peer review statute, which in Massachusetts provides confidentiality to meetings that are conducted following medical errors, such that patients can't learn what's being discussed in those peer review meetings about them and what happened. I think you're witnessing more collaboration between the medical society and the trial lawyers, and the best evidence of that was in 2012 with when the governor, this legislature, the medical society, and trial attorneys collaborated to pass the Disclosure and Transparency Bill, which allows for more discussion following the medical error with the patient. This was in response to the number of medical errors that are happening across the state, which is concerning to physicians, patients, lawyers, and it's an effort to improve patient safety. And we're very excited and look forward to the results of that. It was an example where we were able to put aside our differences of opinion and self-interest and work towards a bill that we think is going to have measurable effects on improving and making hospitals safer. The peer review privilege, however, which again makes secret discussions taking place following medical injuries, discussions amongst healthcare providers, is truly an obstacle to the sea change of disclosure and transparency. It's actually a dam or a dike to the free flow of information that the legislation of 2012 is trying to encourage. It's actually a relic of an experiment that's decades old now, an experiment which really failed, we believe. It was designed such that if it was a medical error, the medical community can feel free to discuss it without the fear of liability and thereby improve patient safety. Well, what we know is that patient safety has not improved. We know that 100,000 people die per year, every year, from medical errors, not to mention those who are harmed. So we believe that it's time for us to take another bold step forward. Hopefully, the governor, the legislature, the medical and legal community can come together and remove this impediment towards transparency and disclosure. We believe that the time for the peer review privilege to be repealed has come. The door to information that has been shut to patients for decades should be opened, the sashes should be thrown up, and we should be allowed to know what is being discussed. We as patients should know what's being discussed about our bodies behind closed doors. It's really it's a time for us to now go in the direction of more disclosure and away from the time where things would have to be swept under the rug or not disclosed to the patient. The patient, among other things, has an ethical imperative, an ethical right to know what's happened to him or her, who did it, how did it happen, why did this happen, what's going to happen to me in the future. So, to wrap up, thank you for your time, and open to any questions you may have about our position on this.
Given the articles that have come on the Boston Globe in the past couple of days, any perspective?
The articles with regard to that family and Children's Hospital in Pittsburgh. That's very interesting, Representative Sanchez. I think that you look at that as a situation where there is unfortunately a tension between families and hospitals, and some of the bills seem to be lost. I don't know enough about it to comment personally, but I would be concerned if it turns out to be a situation where there is less collaboration between healthcare providers and patients instead of more, which is what all of us are trying to make happen.
I'm just wondering if this bill fits within that argument anyway.
I think it would. I think to the extent that discussions are being had about that particular young girl behind closed doors, I would argue as a patient advocate, among other things, that the patient should know what's being discussed about them, their child, medical issues related to that child. We're about openness. I mean, the apology bill was about openness. It's about disclosure. And I think to some extent that could have, if this bill were, if there was a peer review meeting that took place, then that's the kind of thing that should be disclosed with the parents in the right way, such that the parents can process it and appreciate where the other side's coming from, so they can make a determination as to how reasonable or unreasonable is their position.
Thank you very much for participating. Do you have any questions? Thank you so much for
Thank you so much for your time.